guys hear Bill? Someone in the chat, just let us know if you can hear Bill.
Oh, maybe there's a thing here. This is beeping. I don't know if that's good or bad. Look at the cheat deck list. That seems very good. Nobody can hear Taco Bell. I hear a no, or I see a no. I got volume, but it's on the computer. Sad face. I'm gonna get Dan. See what we can do. They're starting, so if you wanna get in on that.
Here, take this one.
Poor Joe. No one's gonna be able to hear Joe. Well, see, I wanted to talk to Joe before this game started, see what Phil's game plan is. I talked to Shaw a little bit. He was talking about how, first of all, he's got 3 outs to get Jared Gerard. We're running 2 spies, I think Karan and Jin, and then also Rogue One. So he may take that shot, take that chance if he has it. Other than that, he's just looking to reduce damage. This one, nobody could hear me on this one.
Is the red light blinking?
It was blinking, yeah.
So hit, that's the mute button. If it's flashing, you mute it. If it's ready, you're live. So I'd rather use that one. It goes on minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna trade this back. You can let.
You got it all figured out. You need
I got this one.
playing
headset roulette.
Yeah. All right, and then this guy said that.
Yep.
We're gonna hit start recording. So that way it records the game.
Oh, that's good that we're recording the game. Can you hear me now, Lenny?
We just like to record the in between bits.
Yeah.
Like somebody doesn't have to go to later and cut it all out.
That makes sense. So yeah, like I was saying,
But if you guys need me, I'll be right back.
Greg is trying to, he doesn't think Phil's playing any anti-speeder cards. So he thinks he's going to be pretty safe on the ground. We see Jared Gerard already to the bunker. Joe, you with us now?
Is this mic live?
There's an on button.
There's an on-off on the...
How about now? Looks like little dots are moving.
Little dots are always moving.
Sounds good.
Or you have it already.
No, that's fine. I know all of Phil's cards.
And I should know all of Greg's.
Taco should know all of Greg's. So.
Yeah.
Alright.
What deck is he playing now?
It's
This is,
TTO
Greg's-
versus Old
Greg's
Allies.
Old Allies versus Phil's TTO.
So Phil's dark.
Phil is dark.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so you want the TTO. Who am I forwarding these to?
Yeah, these guys
I'm-
both know
I
what
have
this
it. I
is.
forwarded it to Phil, who forwarded it to you. So
I'm giving it to the commentators.
I'm commentating.
Yeah.
We're good.
I got Greg's deck, and like we know it, and then he's got Phil's deck, so we're probably
we got
good.
it covered
Yeah.
between us.
Actually, okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
We're
well,
good.
Someone,
Fine.
someone false alerted you.
Yeah.
So we see Phil here with a quick start.
2
both
sectors.
2 sectors. And Moff Jerry to the bunker.
Greg's pulling a flurry of cards here.
Huisa for
It
something.
Looks like we've got 2 generals with strike
Boss
planning,
Lass.
profundity, and a Wisa.
Leia and Cal is in.
Yep. Did it look like? Did you guys see that it looked like Phil looked at Greg's hand somehow? Is there a card that does that?
No. There's a Monarch in the deck, but I don't think he paid 4 to do that turn 1.
No,
so
that seems
I
not
saw
very good.
Greg hold his
Yeah.
hand out like, I think he was showing the camera or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Phil saw it.
For the chat, we here I'm Lenny Rubin, LS Rubin on the forums. To my left
I'm Taco Bill. I'm
is-
slightly off
is
camera.
Taco Bill, slightly off camera. To my right is Mr.
You have like
Joe
a
Olsen.
soothing early morning NPR voice.
Me or Bill?
You! To my right, we
This is
have-
what my voice sounds like.
Nice.
I don't know what to tell you.
Cool. I have a terrible radio voice, so y'all gotta put up with it. Yeah, I'm
Me
Joe,
too.
a rebel
I'll be
spy.
here playing all
on
the
forums.
coolest jams all night long.
I got a face made for radio, and that's why I'm off screen
Right,
over
I
here.
also have a face and pasty white skin made for radio. I'm blinding the internet right now.
All right, so should we talk about this match in general before it gets too
Yeah.
hot and heavy while we're kind of warming up?
I kind of started with Greg's game plan a little bit.
Okay.
He's running 2 spies and Rogue One, so depending on where Jared
Alright.
goes, obviously we see he went to the bunker.
Yeah,
Yep.
I haven't played a whole lot of TTO, but I have played a lot of old allies against TTO, and it's all about that 7 side of old allies being able to reduce one source of damage to 1, so that TTO damage is going to get reduced to 1 as long as Greg can control 2 Jakku battlegrounds. And does he play 3 battleground sites in this stack? Is it the docking bay and the 2?
He's not running the docking bay.
He's not running the docking bay, so there will be the
I don't
system
think.
and 2 battleground sites at Jakku. So
So Phil would have to challenge at a
if
site
Phil-
and the system.
if Phil can take over the system, if Greg controls 2 sites, he nerfs the TTO damage. So Phil is gonna have to also be able to hold at one of those 2 sites.
yeah,
And
And
Greg
that-
was-
and
in my experience, that's generally how TTO wins this.
right.
when
So the
it wins it.
problem with that is this build of TTO is very space heavy. There's like you can build TTO different ways with EPP malls and cities and stuff. This version uses tap mall in space, and it's got a bunch of undercover spies. So it's got U3PO and Erica and Image of a Dark Lord. So it's not going to be able
Yeah.
to challenge at a site. It will.
Well, even that might still work.
Right.
Because maybe you can set up like Drain of 2 at 2 different systems with 1 TTO damage, and that's still 5 versus.
Right. It might come down to space battles if a lot of the ground damage can get mitigated with Image and
Yeah.
undercover spies, and you can't find Corrin, then it might come down to space battles.
Yeah, so we'll see if Phil can mitigate Greg's ground damage. We'll see if Greg can get his objective flipped and online quickly enough. From what we're seeing right now, it doesn't look like it should be too long.
He
Before old
got a
allies
good
get
start by getting that Twix, hitting his pull on the Raise Hut.
Yeah.
Like he'll have plenty of force to work with.
Yep, and he's gonna fly up.
Doesn't look like he has a Hark Staff. That would obviously be the
That
the
would
dagger.
be the God hand.
Which I don't think he's running. If he's running it, it's only 1 or 2. It's
Okay.
not like 4 or 5 like some builds I've seen.
I like the Rogue One. It's like Bill's and Greg's hand.
Yeah.
It's like he's got Rogue One in his hand.
Yeah, I think he's...
Yeah, and that Rogue One at the Death Star could be very interesting.
What's Rogue One do?
It can deploy without presence or force icons.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure.
Yeah. No. The ship. Yeah.
The ship, yeah.
Rogue One.
like the movie.
Not to be
Just like in the movie.
Not to be confused with the speeder.
Yeah.
Are they both in here? Because that would be funny.
They probably are.
Yeah.
I actually think he switched to 2 Rogue 3s instead of the Rogue One.
Just
That's
to
something we were
avoid-
talking about
just
as we
to
were-
avoid confusion.
I think it was just we were going to switch to 2... Oh, and he didn't make the switch, but we had talked about switching to 2 Commander Wedge and running that for some extra damage. I don't think we made that switch, so it's probably still Rogue One and Rogue One. And Rogue 3. Looks like TTO is going to get set up this turn.
So our opinion on this match was Old Allies is fairly favored.
Yeah, I think we had
Um,
the same opinion.
And so I think Phil is thinking he needs to take some risks early, and like ideally if you have the time you spin for black 2 and you drop Jared's Rod in black 2 so he's safe from spies and that sort of stuff. But if you don't get those cards, you can't just hold Jared's Rod. You basically have to
Yeah.
drop him down and say, if you have the spy, you have it. But
Right.
when you're in a match where you're already at a disadvantage,
Yeah, you don't
you're
get
going to
it.
be... I think we're going to see Phil taking a few more risks too early on.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of games lately where the TTO player doesn't want to risk the spy beat, and they don't have a ship, So they just hold Gergerod on turn 1 and just draw cards. And whenever I see a DTO player doing that, I feel great because I know that they're gonna get set up really
Oh,
slowly.
and see, here's what I was talking
Here
about
you go with
Phil
risk
taking
right
some
away.
risks early.
There's
He force pushed, and he just immediately is going to
Yep.
attack, plays a Black Sun
And he's
Fleet,
got Boba
which
Fett
which
and
won't work.
Ozzel.
And the
he
lateral
lateral
damage.
damages the Falcon.
Looks like
And now he's going to be able to get any card out of his deck,
with that,
presumably a spin or a command, even
probably a
to draw
command
third
to.
Destiny.
Yep.
And if
And Greg's power 0 right now to.
I would definitely
9.
get the command actually because
Yeah,
Greg
so 9 to
doesn't-
0, draw 3 Destiny.
Greg
Yeah,
doesn't
it's,
have an admiral, so he's
Yeah.
not going to be able to limit you.
That could be trouble.
Yeah, this could be bad
yeah.
or
so,
good depending on who you're rooting for.
So this is one of the plays we talked about. So this TTO deck has double lateral damage.
Mhm.
Right now, Light Space is a ton of Home 1 and Profundity.
Yeah.
And Light usually has a lateral mitigator or two, an Elors or a Hashin or something.
But if they don't,
have
on
it,
that turn,
are they gonna wait to deploy their ships until they have that? If they do, TTO's like, great, I set up all my stuff. And if they
Exactly.
have to go without it, and you've got double lateral, you might be able to get a good beat off.
And
even
if they have access to a lateral damage mitigator like Elors or Hashin, if they don't preemptively put
play
that
it,
out,
and even if they do,
then you still get lateral damage in that one battle.
right, and even if they do preemptively put it out, TTO's got double set for stun control combo, so you can set for stun Hashin or Elors, and then lateral
And then
get the big
lateral and then
battle.
fight.
Yeah, so with
Seems good.
Looks like Phil went and got a different card other than command, and he drew a 4 and spun a 6.
okay,
Spawn of 5.
yeah, 5.
That
So 9 should clear both of them.
9 does clear both.
And he draws a 5, which will clear Fett. That's terrible for
Yeah.
Phil. He almost should have gone for a close call to ensure,
Yeah, I definitely like close call. with
because
that
now,
Boba Fett
like,
pull.
what do? You leave your Ozzel alone when he has Profundity in hand? No,
Does
so you
Ozzel have to fly back to the Death Star, which
And Greg
Yeah.
has the Rogue One in hand.
this just seems like
ooh. So that didn't go so well for Phil.
that could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah.
For Greg.
I mean, you still get rid of Solo, you get rid of Calrissian. There's only one Calrissian. There's probably
But
a second
Calrissian's
Solo.
not
but
a
yeah.
key card.
Oh, that was Solo. So did he not hit the raid pull last turn?
So he went ahead and moved to indoor, which is weird because he knows Profundity's in hand. He pulled it with Rab.
Yeah.
Maybe he has barrier. No, he just drew barrier for Destiny, and there's
There's
only one.
Only one.
So
And Greg spent most of.
Yeah. So Greg's
Greg's got a
activating-
decent hand too.
So
yeah,
Greg's
but
activating
if Greg
9.
doesn't draw a 5 there, then Phil's stacked,
Phil's sitting pretty.
stacked
Greg
and
doesn't
looking
draw
really
5.
good here, and and Greg's in
So
quite a
Greg
bit of
just
trouble.
activated 9. I think
That was
he had
huge.
saved 1. Profundity's going to cost 3 at Endor because of Endor's text. And that's.
I mean, Ozzel gets no Destiny by himself, so even
Yeah.
so, a Profundity
and
Akbar
there's
or
no immunity by
Profundity.
himself, so Profundity on any pilot is going to be great.
Yep.
Might even have enough force left over to also put a pilot on the Falcon, and then you just consolidate at the Endor system.
Well, that'll cost you 2 to move over there, so I think
Yeah, that's true.
the better play would be to move back to Jakku.
Profundity only has hyperspeed 3, though.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
So
Maybe
unless-
maybe the
unless
better
you have-
play is to move to the Death Star.
Unless you have Hashin.
yeah, I'm surprised he didn't move to the Death Star with no Profundities in hand. But I mean, maybe
But
Rogue
yeah.
One. Yeah. Oh, so Ray goes there. Ozzel's gonna die,
Yeah.
and maybe Slave 1 since Ray will add 1 to the battle. That's
Yeah, so 4 to kill Slave 1.
The 4 kills Slave 1.
Black Sun makes it immune to less than 4, right?
Yeah,
it does.
that's a good point. It does have some immunity. So he does need to draw a 3
Yeah.
to even clear
With
Ozzel.
Ray to add 1. Yeah.
But I mean, he's only power 4, 6. And Profundity's already 6. Ray's
John
effectively
Michael,
4,
that is
so.
indeed Joe Wilson commentating.
Grady, Phil was playing Jakku mains for Lightside.
Yeah, our round 2.
There's
Oh,
a-
jeez. Here
there's
comes
a
the
solo,
blowout.
too.
Second solo, or
Oh, there's a Rebel flight suit. which will cancel the command.
Cancel any
if-
interrupt,
if the
yeah.
command-
If Phil drew into
is
command or
played.
something to at least add a Destiny here.
Yep. And it at least adds 2 power, if nothing else. I like Rebel Flight Suit a lot.
And he's going to draw 2 Destiny because solos with
Yep.
Ray.
Yep.
I'm also a big fan of the designer of Rebel Flight Suit, but I'm a little biased.
He does come up with good decks.
And good cards. Agnos, you're probably right. I don't know what the text of that is other than it moves.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually not sure how that's worded. Can we
I
pull
think
that
it's
up?
I think it's with
I actually don't know how to do this.
click card image,
Card image.
browse,
Browse.
Sure.
We should see what they draw, though.
Star Wars.
There it is. Oh, nope.
Well, whatever.
It's there.
So
it's just tiny.
they drew some purple cards off the top. We're like
Okay.
we're messing with the
Oh.
settings here and we're missing the battle.
Yep.
So drew a couple and
it
apparently
looks
had
like
to Phil
he got-
Phil had to peel.
He got overflowed and had to peel,
Lose.
and TTO is one of the cards that went off the
So
top.
so I'm guessing you guys all saw who. Well, no, we probably blocked the stream, huh?
I don't think we
Yeah.
do.
No,
Oh no, we don't block
the
it while
the
doing that.
menus don't
Okay.
come up on the
All right, so
stream.
everyone else probably saw, but I'm guessing Greg drew kind of high, so both Ozzel and Slave One died.
Did you see
plus
what he
peeling
drew?
Overflow,
We missed what he drew. We were
and
changing
he
card
just
image.
top decked the purple card.
We saw TTO go off the top. But what did Greg draw for Destiny?
Okay. I'll ask him.
Yeah, so that's...
Yeah, so I'm guessing this game will go into scoop mode in just a little bit because it's already
So Phil
like
won
we were
game
saying,
1 by 1.
by 1. But it's a pretty advantage match for Old Allies, and Phil
Yeah.
has to take risks early, so he went for the early lateral beat.
Yeah, it
Didn't pan
just
out
didn't.
because Greg drew that 5,
Yep.
and then
to
the
go above
rebeat
vet.
top deck the purple card, which means Phil's options are pretty limited right now. So the Death Star, if TTO's not on table, is a drain 5 system.
And
It's
Greg
a-
has direct access to it
and
with
Greg
the Rogue
has,
One.
yeah, or could move or whatever. And I mean,
Yeah, it's just a matter of can Greg.
and with Slave One dead, that's one of the main space packages. So now Phil's got Baron, Vader.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if Greg can set up.
You
and
may
get
see
around,
Greg...
Coward.
You may see him dial back and just kind of go back into
Play
coast
safe.
mode. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
so-
in Profundity right now can't move
Right.
from enemy.
correct.
Or it can't get back
Does
to
he
Jakku.
have the squid that makes it hyperspeed +1?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's stuck there. But on the plus side for Greg, the lateral damage is stuck. Like it can't get lateral damage itself because it's unique.
Yeah.
So
BB
Greg could just take that as his battleground system and go to Jakku at a battleground site and just
Yeah.
damage and say bring it.
BBQ7 on the chat should have
Okay.
moved Slave to Death Star 2.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
So
we
10th.
know that Greg is holding Rogue One, which could deploy
Phil
there,
probably
so
didn't
you
know
would have
that,
just seen that same beatdown squad come to the Death Star.
So Phil pulls the super laser, and
So, I
apparently
mean-
he's gonna reveal Baron to pull Saber, or maybe he played a spin. I'm not sure which.
So-
super laser does nothing
Yeah.
because you can't fire it unless TTO's on table. So
Right.
probably just lose that.
I've been informed that Greg drew a 4 and a 5,
Yeah.
making it 10 total. And Oslo forfeits for 4, and
Yep. And Slave
Slave
1
One's
Slave 1 for 6, 5.
5.
So
So
Got
did he have to
one
peel
he
one?
peeled.
I
and it
don't
was
know
a
if it was 1 or what it was,
He's-
but
Well, he might have also been.
he was definitely
he was
outpowered.
probably
He was
also
at 6,
outpowered
79,
by a
10,
lot,
12,
yeah.
30,
Yeah,
14.
that's true.
He was at 24.
Yeah. And the other thing is,
Yeah,
I don't know how the
24.
purple card got so close to the top. He must have shuffled at some point, because otherwise, like, he shouldn't have missed his pull on it with the reactor core.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it,
I don't know.
It should have
Well,
been
he
near the
shuffled
bottom
with-
if
with
he missed
Fett.
his pull with it.
Oh
so.
yeah, he shuffled with Fett.
but that
No,
would have
but
been
then
in
he
there.
would have pulled it
Yeah.
that turn. He would have pulled it and then shuffled with Fett. So I don't know.
Oh.
He must have somehow shuffled again after recirculating, moving Ozzel, recirculating, shuffled again. Or he forgot to pull it with the sector, which would be a
Man.
mistake. I don't know which was the case. Oh, Crypto points out in the chat, no escape would be a baller card here.
Yeah,
Is it in the deck?
I think
It
it would have been
definitely
played
is.
already.
Yeah.
Because he played the
That's-
Emperor
yeah,
already.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he would have played that as one of
Let
his
Snap
first
play
things. Yeah, so Gregel. Yeah. Phil shows the camera the purple card and laments his choice to top deck, but odds on that were pretty small.
I've been there. It's not a fun game after that.
Yeah. Especially sucks when you're in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Or semifinals, I guess.
I've not been there.
Yet. Yeah, and Greg
Yeah,
pays
we
3 to
see
drain
Phil
1 to
just-
bury the purple card so he can't no escape it. Smart move.
Is there any other retrieval in there?
He's got to lose by 0.
I mean,
I don't even know what else
Spice
it would
Mines
be. Yeah?
No.
All right.
Spice of Kessel. Probably
Yeah, I don't
the
think
card
so.
of the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, which card needs errata in that combo? Lost in Space or Spice Mines of Kessel?
Lost in Space.
You think so?
Just errata it. Get rid of it. I don't know what it does, but get rid of it. It was a rules nightmare before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Haid loves to break stuff like that. Spice Mines of
Tom Haid's a
Kessel,
smart man.
bounties.
Firepower's a good point
Yeah,
out.
Firepower could retrieve 1 here
Which-
if he plays. He'd have to play. Oh, he did play a dude over there, and if he moves it to the Death Star,
Yeah.
we can't see. So Phil's got black sleeves on a black table, so we can't see if he has one saved versus like Greg's. We can clearly see his force pile.
Yeah.
So, obviously, if he pops Firepower, Greg will play aim high. I don't know if he has one saved, but that would be a.
But yeah, Firepower no escape would be
a great
huge.
move. He'd still have to have the no escape by now.
He's gonna shut.
So he played Leia and then shuttled her
Leia.
down. Not quite sure why he is she cheaper on there somehow?
I think he was getting ready to move over and realized that he couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then he went whoops and
There's
shuttled her. So
Firepower.
there's Firepower. And here comes aim
Needs
high.
to aim high.
But he did bury that TTO enough that
It's the
No,
second
he only
card.
drained 1.
Yeah.
So
What?
it's the second card up. He drained 1
Oh.
at indoor, so Phil could retrieve the super laser with Firepower, and then purple card would be the top one.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if he has no escape in hand and 1 force, no, apparently he didn't have the force for Firepower.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's big.
Yeah.
The chat is talking about how good Lost in Space is.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's asking about the combo. So you can Spice Mines a Kessel, a captive, and retrieve their forfeit, and then you can immediately Lost in Space them to the same system and capture. And Lost in Space is like the dude is he just ejected into space, and a capital starship at same system can rescue it or capture it. So then you immediately capture it again, and next turn play Spice Mines a Kessel, and you just loop your Lost in Space and Spice Mines a Kessel from Lost Pile to just keep retrieving whatever that captive's forfeit
Yeah.
is, +4 if you have Tarl on table. So if it's a forfeit 6 dude, +4, retrieve 10, including a Spice Mines and
And a lost,
in space.
And keep doing it.
and then you 4-lump for your Lost in
Yeah.
Space and Vandalay pull the
Lost in Space
Kessel, and
is
then
also just a
you
great
can just retrieve
way
10 force every turn.
to initially capture somebody.
I'm pretty glad I didn't have to play against that.
So like, there'll be a big space battle, attrition, both sides forfeit a guy, lost in space their guy, and then immediately capture them.
And then Tom Haid was
And
telling
then
me it's
get
great
Spice
too
Mines.
to get your own dude back, because you can battle
Yeah.
and you lose your dude from your ship and pop him
Yep.
Lost in Space, and then rescue him right in the move phase right after the battle, and you just got your
Yep.
you know
And actually,
Admiral
in
Thrawn
that,
back or whatever.
in
So
that-
it's like an
in-
old Ben for space.
In that game 1, when Tom was playing against Justin Desai yesterday, that was actually the difference on the last turn of the game. Tom had to forfeit. They were tied on life force. Tom's lost pile was 2 fewer than Justin's. Tom had to forfeit 2 guys from a battle. Forfeits an ISB agent and another guy, lost in space, the other guy, to keep him on table and not in lost pile, and then draw phase, retrieve an agent.
Wow.
And
Baller.
he won on lost files.
So Phil got in 2 drains at 2 here. Looks like he's trying to take.
He's dropping Erica and breaking
Yeah.
her cover. He's very much in desperation mode right now,
Yeah, he just needs to.
because the problem is his ground is so much weaker. That's
Yeah.
most of his ground. He can also do a Tap Maul down there or a Darth Vader V, but none of these characters are built to really
Yeah,
battle
and
once
I don't
Greg
know
gets
exactly
his speeders.
what Greg has. It seems like a lot of his good characters are now stuck at Endor, where
Yeah.
they're draining for 1, which
That's-
isn't really what you want.
What I was gonna say is Tat
Like
Maul's
Leia.
probably good because Leia's
Yeah.
not there, Rey's not
Leia,
there.
Leia and Rey.
You gotta find
and-
Anakin or Corrin.
Yeah, and who else? Is it just
So-
Rey and Solo up there?
Rey and Solo are up there.
So Rey,
Both-
Solo, and Leia are all stuck at Endor, draining for 1.
1 and 1.
Right, for 1 and 1. But then Phil is draining for 2 and 2. And, like, Greg needs to find something else to go fight at Jakku.
All right, so it looks like
He retrieved one with his own weapons display.
Yeah, he retrieved one with weapons display. He pulled Akbar somehow. I didn't see him play leadership.
He did. It's grabbed.
Oh, okay. He stacked leadership.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Pulled Akbar and then retrieved with weapons display. What card did he retrieve?
I didn't
character.
see.
Someone he just lost to that drain.
Poe was on there at some point.
Now he's gonna drain a 1/1. And Phil loses a Monarch and the Naboo system.
So that's 3 cards on top now, right?
Yeah,
Now
it's
it's
buried.
gone.
That's gone.
If you drop your keys in
Does-
lava,
does
just let
this
them go,
list-
man, 'cause they're
Does
gone.
this list play a No Escape?
Yeah.
Must, yeah.
Totally. Honor's too good of a card.
Yeah.
And just getting back top card lost pile is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bummer if you just couldn't find it at the right time.
Yeah, so with Naboo gone, that means Profundity can't ever get over to.
Yeah, they're right in
Right.
between.
So Phil's
Naboo gone
plan
and
is
no-
probably stack and drain 2 and 2 and 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Basically just trying to do 4 while Greg's doing 2 by doing 1 and 1.
Which seems
Greg,
good.
but Greg can move over to the Death Star and start doing 5 there if he can stack enough at the 2 indoor locations
Yeah.
to get around Coward, and then get home 1
Yeah.
and move that over to
Yeah,
the Death Star.
This turn, I would look for Greg
Or-
to just drop Rogue One.
Rogue
and
One,
somebody.
probably.
Rogue
to the
One
Death Star.
will do it too, or a pilot to the Falcon, and then move that to indoor and
Yep.
cancel lateral and make its way over. Or
He was.
or move
He looked like he was
Profundity.
asking about
And it
if
looks
the
like
lateral
that's what's
damage
gonna
gets
happen.
canceled.
We see Chewie to the
if
Falcon.
it becomes a vehicle.
Yes, it does.
So I
Oh.
think that's what he's looking at.
If the Falcon
Oh, he's
becomes
gonna
a
land it,
vehicle,
flip it to a
lateral damage is
vehicle, and
canceled.
now it's an illegal target. and
Yes.
so it automatically is canceled.
Yep.
Wow.
And then you see Akbar.
Did not know that. So
Akbar and
he
Chewie?
buries Akbar.
Akbar and Chewie. Some. I
That
doubt
way-
we're gonna see a battle here.
No. But
If
a
we
battle
do,
wouldn't
there's
actually
almost
a battle
certainly
wouldn't have
gonna
been
be
bad for
leadership.
Greg because if he leaderships and draws 2 destiny and clears Phil out of space, like Phil's just so
Yeah.
set back. So the barrier was a good play there, but Greg has another great option to just go ahead and land it,
flip
flip
the
it.
Falcon, and that's gonna cancel the lateral damage.
Yeah.
It's another card on top.
Yep.
That does free you up for playing lateral damage again, though.
Yes.
Greg
So-
can't think that you guys are playing too.
Right. Well, you just retrieved it with firepower. So
Okay.
now
Yeah.
Greg will be aware it's in there. But even if you lateral Profundity right now, it still has
You're drawing
Rey,
2 destiny, and they're
Solo,
+1 total.
And
the
other thing
who else is
also,
on top of that?
I'll-
I can't tell from
is,
the
is that
reflection.
with
Who?
with
What's that third card? So there's Rey,
Flight
the
suit.
flight suit. Yeah.
so with Naboo gone, and TTO gone, so you can't move the Death Star. Phil also
Wait,
has
you can
no
move
way
the Death
of
Star. You
getting-
can move it to deep space.
Yeah.
So he can move the Death Star
Oh,
to
it can
Parsec
only
5.
move
It's
if
not
TTO 's on
operational.
the table.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I see what you're saying.
So with Saber 1 at Jakku, it
Saber
can
1's
never get
stuck
back
there.
to Endor.
Correct.
That's one of the appeals of the system. Of that system, I should say.
Yeah. Naboo is on top right now, though. So if he did
Yeah.
have the
If
no
he
escape,
does have
did
the
he
no
find
escape,
it by
he can
now? He
get his
could
system.
think about that.
But,
I mean, it all went downhill when Greg drew that first 5. So
yeah.
now
Yeah.
it's just mostly academic.
Yeah, I think you need to Boba Fett for close call in that situation. I mean, in hindsight's 2020. but
Exactly. I don't know that I would have done that play, but that's the right play, I think, is
Yeah.
get close call.
Just make sure that everybody can survive.
Yeah, because that's such a big difference.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what he did get. That's probably Eric a non-V, Kalaglin, because he deployed him undercover. Deployed her undercover.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's
No, yeah, it's non-V,
Yeah.
and then he broke recover. Yep.
Erica V would be pretty good right now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So Chewie and Lando there. Tap Maul would be good until he finds a Corrin or Anakin.
I mean, if I'm Phil, I have to assume he doesn't have Corrin because he probably comes to the bunker,
bunker.
already.
yeah.
Right, to kill Jar Jar and try and get overflow. And that's still a
Right.
liability right
Yep.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's a Geek in there and a Masterful, so maybe Phil has Geek.
Yeah. So
But
do you
yeah,
think
you
we
still
can-
try and go for the beats if you're
Do you
Greg.
think we can look for Greg to go to the Death Star with Rogue One and just force the issue?
I think
Probably.
once
Yeah, I'm actually a little
Or
surprised
does
he
he just
decided
stay
to go
where
back
he
over
is
to
and turtle
Jakku.
and-
Like when he could just pile indoor sight,
Yeah.
indoor, like I probably would have moved over and canceled lateral and then landed it and just gone indoor sight, indoor system, Death Star.
Has to confirm if Phil has 2 lateral damages.
There's 2.
I think you can't go over and land.
No, not the same turn, but I'm just saying,
Oh, yeah,
basically pile those 2 indoor things, not pull this other 2-2 sight that he did, and just be like, all right, you do 2-2, I do 2-2-5, and you can't get a third battleground for resistance.
But you do 2-2, I do 1-1-5.
1-1-5, which I'm doing 7 to your 4, and
Yeah.
how do you can't do a third battleground for resistance, and so
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking the plan for Greg is. This works
But I
too.
guess, you know,
It
if
doesn't
you're-
really matter right
like,
now.
we
but-
don't know exactly what's in Greg's hand. We don't
That's
know
true.
if he's got other pilots or, you know, another, you know, a pilot for Rogue One or...
Yep. All right, so
And-
Phil decides
and-
to do the tap maul in space, and then he does land it
Yeah.
and get it
he's gonna
out
land it
to
and
blank
just
him.
blank his ability at the site.
He moves Erica over, just in case Corrin comes down or something. Maul will be by himself. And this will give Greg a chance to weapons display and retrieve Lieutenant Blount.
Yeah, Greg looks like he has a small hand. I think there's 5 cards in it.
Yeah. Greg's been deploying a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So Greg does do
He's
the
got
weapons display here.
Is that Guts on top of Lost Pile?
Yeah.
Yeah. Scum is good against old allies, except if Guts is in the deck, then
Yeah.
Scum is not good against old allies.
It's not bad.
Well,
It's not good.
yeah. Scum got a little bit worse against old allies with the profundity now in the game, I think.
Yeah, and
'Cause you
when
can no longer just put Hinthra by itself on
Yeah.
turn 1 to Jakku
the other thing is, I
for
think
the drain of 3.
Immel's my kind of scum he played today will be better because you can flip and add a bunch to your destiny and clear out a bunch of stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
But Court Scum is
Yeah.
doesn't have that as much.
So Joe, you played earlier today. What was your opinion of active judging?
You know, I don't generally care for the idea of active judging, interrupting the players. At least I didn't. I think it went really smoothly. There was I think one thing that came up. Phil blew up my Death Star earlier, and we flipped over all the locations, and I flipped over the super laser on it too. And then the judge was like, "Oh, that should go in Lost Pile," which could matter if we went to Lost Piles. It was good that he caught it. That all the locations do get blown away and flipped up, but the super laser's lost. And so I think that was the only thing any of us noticed that Phil or I had missed. But
I think, do you like that? Do you like that they're doing that?
I
for
like
day
that he
3
caught.
now?
Yeah.
So, like,
I
everybody is. Because I know.
I
that,
do.
like,
You know, I think I've changed my mind on that. It went smoothly, and it's nice having. It's pretty rare, and when there is a mistake, like, it can be important. If you try and shuttle up a vehicle to the flagship executor, which for some reason cannot hold any vehicles, then the judge being like, "Oh no, you can't do that," is
That's a good judge.
It's good. It's better than having it be a mistake. So
So the only thing I saw happen during that turn was Greg played Rogue 3 to the Endor docking bay. Puzzled me a little bit. And
Yeah,
then he
just an empty Rogue 3.
flipped the Falcon, moved it back up to space.
Yeah, I think he's just a small hand, went ahead and
Yeah.
drained and...
I can't. He did save 2, so he can play leadership.
So it'll depend if Phil has more space by now, like if he found a Vader and shuttle or something, and can draw 2 Destiny and
Yeah.
spin and clear out that space there. He's going to get to drain 2/2 here. I mean, Phil's putting up a decent fight for
Yeah.
being so far behind, losing the whole Slave 1 and peeling the purple card. He's getting some damage through.
Looks like a bunch of red cards in Phil's reserve deck.
Yeah, those are generally high Destiny. Unless there's a Gick or something in there. So it seems like Phil's looking at potentially battling. Probably tried to pull a Force Lightning to check that. And he's making Greg put a fair amount of cards on table.
Yeah.
But the problem is if Greg puts out all those cards and just locks him down, you got to be able to kill that last card.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they're playing for diff because this is Phil won the game by 1.
Yeah. It's pretty much just winner.
Take all.
Now, obviously, what should happen
So now
is
he's
Greg should
draining.
win by 1.
Greg
They should be
loses
tied on lost
Admiral's
piles,
Order,
and they should coin
something.
flip.
Tie in lost piles and play a game of Sabak.
Yeah.
And then Greg tops deck another Admiral's Order and a 3PO to the second drain. Alright, so black 2 with Grand Moff Tarkin goes down, so Phil's gonna get 3 Destiny, and he might set for stun somebody
Yeah,
first.
setting for Sun Akbar seems great right here because then he's got just
No
Chewie,
Destiny, yeah,
no Destiny,
and he can just clear off that whole ship.
and presumably Greg has a leadership.
He did save 2.
So
So,
he's threatening it at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, so he's at least he either has it or he's bluffing it. But if you set for Stun Akbar, it's just
Oh, he's not bluffing it now. He
Yeah,
just raid to
yeah.
draw the bottom card of Force.
that's interesting.
well, are there still?
Ooh, Zuckuss is
Are
going to
there
come
still
down and make his
2?
total battle destiny 0.
That works too.
Because Chewie and
Yeah.
Akbar have a total ability of 5, and Zuckuss
And
requires. And there's a
another
second lateral.
damage comes
So he's
out.
going to be power 0, 0 battle destiny against Zuckuss's 4.
8,
Uh,
6 is 14.
13?
Plus 2 Destiny plus
3
1
Destiny.
to the total.
13. Black 2's a 1, right? And Tarkin's 2 is 3
Oh, that's
plus 4 is
Tarkin in
7.
there. I thought it was
Tarkin.
the
No.
matching pilot.
So that's 7, and 6
Yeah.
is 13. Baron allowed
3
1 to
Destiny.
Destiny is 14.
3
plus
Destiny.
3 Destiny
Yeah.
versus 0. He does have Chewie's forfeit of 6 and Akbar 7 is 13.
Yep.
So Greg's peeling 1 plus whatever the 3 Destinies are.
Yeah.
Or Hujix.
Or Hujix.
So this might have just become a game.
I can't imagine he makes this play unless he has a Hujix. Because he knows this
Moving
is
it
a
up.
space deck, yeah.
Oh, he just drew a 1. Oh, he's going to... Can he redraw that with that?
Yeah,
Yeah, he has
Tarkin.
2. Tarkin redraws. And he
So-
gets 4, 4, 4.
So
So
looking at
that's
13
13.
overflow.
Yeah, so the Falcon's gonna survive. Chewie and Akbar are just gonna die.
No. It's 13 and Chewie and Akbar. And I don't know what the Falcon forfeits for.
It's 0, the lateral damage.
Right.
Yeah.
But
the
the
13
Falcon can sit there. They cover... It was 13 attrition and they cover 13. So the Falcon can sit there empty lateraled.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's going to have to peel 14 battle damage
Yeah.
if he doesn't have the Hujix.
And
Which
if
it
he
doesn't
has the
seem like right
Hujix-
now. I feel like he'd be saying
Yeah.
he has it. If
And if he has the
I mean, they
Hujix,
could be
he's gonna
totaling it
have
up,
to
but
lose the
he would
Falcon.
he would know he's down by so much. It's 0 to a bunch. Oh, here's the other thing. He has solo on table, so he can start peeling from reserve,
Oh,
like
wow.
forfeit the 2 dudes, and
Yeah.
then solo the Hujix from Lost if he loses it.
He has to
pretty
forfeit
early.
the Falcon then, too.
That's true. But he can wait to see if he peels a
Yeah.
Hujix, and then he can just start peeling, and if he hits a Hujix pretty early, solo from Lost to Hujix.
He looks like he's picking cards to lose.
He should not lose from hand first. He should lose from reserve to try and do that Hujix play, even if he decides, I'm going to lose these. Yeah, this was a blowout turn. That Tarkin for the extra destiny, the Zuckuss and the lateral.
Yeah.
Like,
And then we see Greg.
so they covered 13. He
There
should
goes
lose
Chewie
14
and
more.
Akbar.
So not losing the Falcon here.
And if he
He
has
does
the
lose
the
Hujix,
Falcon.
he
Okay.
needs to lose the Falcon
Oh.
first. If he doesn't have the Hujix, there's no reason
But
to lose the Falcon.
right, there's no reason to lose the Falcon until he peels the Hujix, then lose the Falcon as the next action, then solo the Hujix.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's looking at 13 overflow. And there
And
it
he's
goes.
losing from hand first, which
Yeah.
I feel is a mistake. Even if you're like, all right, I'm going to lose these 5, peel the 8 first, because if the
'Cause if
first
one
or
of them
second
is
one
the
is a
Hujix,
Hujix, you're
then
just
you
like,
can
you
just
keep
save
those 5 in
yourself.
hand. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking he just didn't think of the Hujix general
Yeah.
solo play.
He also may not be running it. It's entirely possible.
You don't know if he has
I don't
Hujix
know.
in the deck?
Doesn't always.
A
run
lot of times,
Hujix.
yeah, I was...
And he's piling cards off, it looks like. Or
When-
counting cards, at least.
When I've run Hujix in Old Allies, it's usually been just to cancel Suns down.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
I
such
just
a
figured
blowout.
That's true.
Taco
I
knew
don't...
the deck, and you were saying he doesn't make
know,
that play without it. And
I
Yeah,
would think so.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, he
But-
might have figured Phil didn't have a ton left. A ton
And
of
even
space.
even drawing the Ray card, like, that seems...
Well, and the weird thing is he did that before Zuckuss. Once Zuckuss comes down, you might as well draw the Ray card because
Yeah. Well, you still reduce to 1.
to cap him.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I was thinking to add won't matter because it'll be 0. But
Yeah.
all right, so Greg just peeled a bunch there.
Yeah. 13.
Boy.
Erica moves back over, and Phil recirculates.
It'd be great to get, like, a sheet of paper under anybody playing Dark Side or Black Sleeves.
All right, so Phil's big liability right here is the Moth. So he's gonna hopefully need to find. I mean, he's gonna be trying to dig for his Gick,
Yeah, the
so he
Moth
doesn't get
is
beat back.
Stuck in there. We saw Phil draw the Gick for Destiny on his turn.
You're right.
So
You were
he does
correct.
not have it in
Tarkin
hand.
redrew that.
And so if we've
So the
got
rebeats.
Corin or Jin or I don't know who else.
So
He runs those two.
so
those
Greg
two.
Greg
Yeah,
got
have you
beat
saw
down
one
with the
of
first
those?
lateral and lost his pilots. So
Mm-hmm.
then Phil got beat down and lost his purple card. Now Greg got beat down and just took a bunch of overflow. Let's see if the Moth will do our fourth
Will
beat
be
down of the
next
game.
target.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on with TTO.
TTO's
It
buried.
got, it got
The purple
top
card
decked,
got top decked super early. Yeah, and
but but Phil has still managed to set up good drains at Jakku.
right,
Yeah.
which is crazy because he has
Greg
no
is doing
ground cards.
comparatively
These
little.
are all
Yeah,
Greg seems character starved, and having Solo and Ray stranded
Stuck,
over there
yeah.
is
it'll be
rough.
interesting to see if we get a Rogue One
So now he's gonna drain 1 and 1.
He does.
to the Death Star.
Got 2 speeders in his hands.
Okay.
He had the Rogue One.
There's Unita to get Chewie back.
Okay.
He has no force in
He has
reserve deck,
no
so
reserve deck right now,
no
so he
beatdown
can't
coming.
battle and kill.
Not right now.
that looks like Rogue One.
That
Yeah.
is Rogue One. He deployed on board the
On board
Profundity.
with the
Yeah.
Profundity. I
Probably
guess
so he can put
doesn't-
pilots aboard and then move it over to the Death Star, rather
Yeah.
than trying to deploy it directly
rather
there
than
and
trying
have
to
it
deploy
naked.
it there with a
Yeah.
pilot from hand, which maybe he doesn't have.
Doesn't have or would be an extra lost life force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're stuck not doing much anyway.
He also has fins. I think still has
Phil is
fins.
wondering if he pays
And-
+1 for that ship because it's deploying 2 indoor
To
Yeah.
the ship
It does- it
on
does cost
on
+1.
Profundity.
should be +1, yeah.
I'm guessing that's what Phil's asking because he's tapping the indoor system.
Yeah.
Or was that Phil tapping it, or was that
Phil
the judge?
like slightly moved the lateral and tapped it. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting thing here, Phil can move Zuckuss over to Endor, but those ties are stuck at Jakku.
Or directly to the
Oh
Death
hey,
Star.
puck's on the way.
John Anderson on the way.
So why is the Profundity stuck there?
Because
Hyperspeed
hyperspeed
3.
between Jakku and Indoor is
Yeah.
4, and it's
Hy-
hyperspeed 3,
Hyperspeed 3 doesn't play the fish that adds
So
one.
he doesn't have to play the fish.
or doesn't have it yet. One of those. Okay, so
You gotta be thinking about the finals matchups right now.
Greg drained. He's dropping Wedge also.
So wedging anybody on Rogue One is formidable.
It's pretty good, because anybody on Rogue One
Is
is
a
a
Rogue
Rogue
pilot.
Squadron pilot.
Yeah. Rogue One's
That's
good.
dirty.
I was
Yeah.
trying to tell people that. Nobody believes me.
There,
He's leaving
So,
alone
are
profundity.
Are they all getting on Rogue One? That's what it looks like.
It does look. Oh, and moving over to Jakku, and he's
Oh.
leaving the profundity.
Back to Jakku.
That's dangerous. Well, I guess I was gonna say with Vader still there, but Vader is the top card.
Well,
of
and the
pile.
shuttle,
Bill.
shuttles.
Bill,
yeah.
why does everybody always want to go back to Jakku?
I couldn't tell you that. I tried to run that earlier and it just didn't fit in. So
I said, where did Queso go? Where's Queso?
taking a break. I don't know.
Yeah, he took a break.
All right, so now
Back to
Phil's
Jakku.
gonna drain
So, Joe,
2
do
and
you
2.
agree with this play right here? Taking everybody back to Jakku for a big battle rather
You know,
than going to the Death
I'm
Star
gonna
for
be
a drain
honest.
of
I don't know
5?
that Greg thought of the Death Star being a drain of 5
I don't
because
think-
without TTO on table,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Even if it's a drain of 2, though, you can
that's true.
start to match damage. Go 2-2-1 versus
except
2-2-2.
After peeling 13, he can't. So right now,
Yeah.
he's feeling forced to do stuff. But if he knew it was a 5, maybe he's going. I'm doing. But you can't do 7 to 6 once you're down. You peel 13. Phil would be doing 2-2-2, and Greg would be doing 5-1-1.
5-1-1. That's
6.
not enough.
That's
Not
not in
enough.
favor.
So
So
maybe he
kind of
had been thinking about it, but
thinking
the
about
rest of
moving
the
to Death
game
Star.
just
Yeah, he
didn't
may not
go
have
in that
forgotten it, but
direction.
right now after that peeling.
Yeah.
Ooh, and an on the edge goes off the top. So that was
Limited
probably one.
resources? You
Oh,
guys
he
were
limited
limited?
Still
Greg's
has
for
solo,
4.
though. He hasn't used
Good,
Solo's
and
game text.
Greg
Yeah.
scoops.
And
Phil
Wow.
is in the
sending the
finals
handshake.
after top deck in the
Wow.
purple card.
Phil
Wow,
Aasen makes his first,
what a baller
makes
comeback!
his first top 8 yesterday, and now he's going to be in the World Finals against Johnny Chu.
And we have IE
Congrats to him.
Troopers versus
So
Jakku mains.
So it's going to be Johnny's IE Troopers against Phil's Jakku Mains. And in the other matchup will be Phil's TTO against Johnny's Prophet.
I've got Owen Lars. Does that help?
So
So we'll remember that Phil made J3 on the
On essentially
third tiebreaker.
the third tiebreaker. So I could
Shout out
say
to Chris Kelly, by the way, great
Yeah.
guy. He is incidentally, from what I hear, dominating the consolation tournament right now.
oh yeah, it's
Which is
not even
great to
close
see.
right now.
So this is, with all due respect to Phil Aasen, this is going to be a true David and Goliath matchup. I think we're going to see. In the
Yeah,
finals.
but I'm gonna say this.
But I mean,
it's,
but
you gotta
Phil's
think of it-
played great all
they-
day.
but yeah,
and I'm
he has
excited
been
to
playing
see
great.
it.
So think about it this way: we have a Prophet versus TTO matchup.
Mhm.
We have, which not going to be a lot of interaction.
Yeah, it's
We
going to be a lot of
have
ground versus a lot of space, and whoever does the most
IE
damage wins.
Troopers versus Maids.
That's going to be a lot.
That's
of
going to be
interaction.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we have the 7 versus the 8 seed.
Yeah.
We have the 7 versus the 8 seed. I mean, it still is Johnny Chu, but it's the 7 versus the 8 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and there's just so much going on right now that I don't think anybody wants to go away until we get this game started. I mean,
Mike Friend saying, I guess the purple card doesn't matter as much with the OA flip.
yeah,
Probably not. The problem is, if you don't have it out, then you're just draining for 2 at a system, and then they're reducing that to 1, so you're doing a total of 1 damage by spending 3 force. With TTO, they have to reduce the TTO damage to 1, and then you get to pay for a drain of 2. So you're doing, either way, you're spending 3 force. It's just, do you want to spend 3 force for 1 damage or for 3? And I still think TTO is important, but kudos to Phil for that game. We thought Greg had it. We thought it was over. as
And
soon
then
as
that
TTO went
beatdown-
off
that
the top,
beatdown
But then
and-
Phil was able to just set up better
And
drains.
I'm gonna say this,
And
I-
Greg's guys got stuck at Jakku. Or
my,
at
my
Endor.
biggest question though is, Greg had a
yes, this is
lot
Phil's first
of
final.
answers. He had answers.
in the
He
chat
had
is
tricks.
asking.
He had answers. There was just a lot of things. Like there was a moment when right before the battle that happened in space, I actually saw that he had 2 All Wings combos. He had the Rebel leadership, and I'm just like, why are you not doing something? He had Akbar. He should have just limited Phil.
It's hard to second guess that, because like as the old allies player, like, all right, you cleared slave 1. They've got the Baron out. You don't necessarily, like, you don't know what other space they have. I've played
That's
against
true.
some TTOs that have, like, literally 3 ships in the whole deck, and I've played against some that are like 10 ships, and they tend to run the gamut anywhere in between. You never really know when they're out of space.
Yeah.
And it's
And
hard
that's-
to spread.
That's
and,
extreme. That's true. That is so.
you know,
But again, Johnny Shu versus Phil Anson.
yeah. I think a lot of people probably guessed one of those. But
Yeah, who wouldn't guess Phil Anson?
yeah, no, Phil, you know, he's an
Yeah.
amazing guy.
But
He's you know, certainly has a reputation as a good player.
yeah,
But I don't know if anybody, even himself, would have pegged him for World Finals.
well, he
And-
did.
and
He
it's-
ran
it's
the gamut.
really-
He
it's
ran.
Really
so
great to see.
Think about it this way: he played Joe Olsen, a teammate,
Yeah.
the number 1-8, the guy who finished best yesterday
Yeah.
in the first round.
And
Beat him by 15 in the first game, and
Yeah.
then he beat him overall. Played Greg Shaw, beat Shaw by 1 in the first game on a timed victory, and then just you saw what happened.
Yeah, and then just peels
So-
TTO and still finds a way to win and do
Yeah.
13 overflow
Yeah.
and just
So I think at this point, I think we need to take a break. Choose probably in the double digits for World Top 10. Yeah, he's easily.
Yeah.
I think we should go back and maybe like look at some of the top 8s, like see who's been to the most, who's finished the best and everything.
yeah,
But-
we're probably not the 2 best people to ask about that stuff,
No.
but he's certainly
we can ask. We'll see if we can get some of the top 8s in here to do the commentary for the last round. I know you guys are sick and tired of looking at our faces today, so. But we'll be back. We'll go find out what's going on, and then we'll go from there. See you in a little bit.
see you soon.